everyone, thank you for tuning in to Playing with Kristen, and we have our first Cooking with Kristen video, and I'm going to be making guacamole and salsa. And so here you see is avocados, obviously, because we are making guacamole. And I was actually talking in this video, knowing I was going to do a voiceover, but I just knew that I just needed to talk during the video. So this is me showing you everything you need. You need avocado, onion, cilantro, not house tomatoes, but Roma tomatoes. And I am getting the pepper out of the refrigerator because I forgot to get it. And it is serrano peppers. Serrano peppers are not very spicy at all. So if you want to make this where someone is not a fan of spicy foods, serrano peppers are the way to go. It gives a little bit of flavor, but not a lot. Also need pink sea salt. I love using this for seasoning my different foods, different dips. It's just a great alternative to just regular salt. So first, what I'm going to do right here is get ready to cut these avocados. And y'all, don't be like me. Don't use this huge knife. I am cutting these avocados open. And the thing about avocados, you really want to get them when they are really ripe. Not too ripe where they, just kind of squish together because they're almost, rotten or whatever. But if you get them where they're green, you're not going to be able to make guacamole. It's going to be too hard to basically get the avocado out. And here I am making a mess. I'm just squeezing the avocado into the bowl and whatnot, and I'm making a huge mess, and I'm wiping my hands off on one of these napkins, and I'm getting ready to cut open all the rest of these avocados. And I am taking the pit out. That's the worst thing. I hate when the pit falls into the guacamole mix because then I have to dig my hands in there. But, making good food is messy. And so what I am doing is I am squeezing the rest of these avocados in there. And I knew at this point that it was going to be another long process. So this is basically what I'm doing. And please don't do this. You can really hurt yourself and stab yourself, and you don't want to end up in a hospital and contaminated food. So I knew right here I was going to end up just cutting the rest of the avocados, and here I am. All the avocados are in the bowl, and next what I'm going to do is sprinkle some of this lime juice in there. I recommend using fresh lime juice, but I didn't feel like going back to the store, so I used what I had in my refrigerator. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of lime juice into the avocado. Not a whole lot because it's easier to add add lime juice rather than take it away. So next what I'm doing is I'm sprinkling a little bit of salt in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this potato smasher and smash it all up together. That way the lime juice is mixed in there with the avocado mixture with the salt. And we will add more lime juice as I get ready to mix this all up. And I don't like my avocado, my guacamole very smooth. I like it a little bit chunky. So I do not smash the avocado all of the way. So what I'm doing now is getting this onion. This onion was in my fridge, and the way you can tell if an onion is fresh is if when you smell it or it gets near you, if it makes you cry. If it doesn't, it's not fresh. So I'm going to put that away. And I am going to the refrigerator because I do have some chopped onions. I usually use fresh onions, but I didn't have any more, so I did end up getting these chopped onions from Walmart. I've never had a problem with getting this type of vegetable from Walmart. I've never gotten sick or had a problem with smell or color, in case you are very wary of getting any vegetables or anything from Walmart. But anyway, I am sprinkling a few of these in there, and the great thing about this is that they're already chopped. You don't have to worry about it. So what I'm going to do now is take some of the, one of these peppers, the serrano pepper. It looks like a little tomato. You're just going to take those leaves off right there. And I didn't know how spicy serrano peppers were. I thought they would be a little bit spicy, so I only used one, and that's what they look like on the inside. And what I'm going to do is just cut these a little bit, and I'm going to put them into I have a little mini Ninja food processor, and it's very small. I just keep it on my counter because it takes up hardly any space. I got it at Walmart. I think I paid maybe about 20, maybe 25 bucks at the most for it. It's not a lot of money, but it's very convenient if you only need to chop up a little amount of food, it doesn't take up the space as a huge food processor. Here it is right here. And that little lady on the side is called the Angry Mom. It's for a microwave, in case anyone asks. But anyway, I am going to just pulsate this a little bit so I can add it to the guacamole, and I'm just out of frame a little bit. And there it is right there. You just put it on and pulsate a little bit. And once I'm done, I'm going to take this out, and I'm just going to show you what it looks like right here. And that's what it looks like inside there. It's not pureed or anything. It's just, you know, pretty chunky. And I'm going to scoop it out with a spatula and add it right into where the avocado is. And you can tell this is my first time filming a food video because my camera work is not top notch, but practice makes perfect. And so what I'm going to do is just put this in here, and I was kind of having a hard time, so I'm getting a spoon and getting the rest of this out, and I'm just gonna mix it. I like to mix as I go because I don't know, that's just me. Maybe you're different, not sure. So next what I'm gonna do is I am going to cut open some tomatoes. I do not puree the tomatoes or pulsate them because I like the tomatoes chunky. I don't like them, you know, like when I make the salsa, you'll see how I make the salsa. I like to see everything that is in my guacamole. I don't know about you. Some people like chunky guacamole, some people don't. I just like it chunky, and so does my husband. So I just, you know, continue to make it how I always make it. And what I'm doing now is I'm just cutting these tomatoes up in small little cubes. That way there's not too much tomato going on, but there's enough where you can taste it. And I'm just putting the tomato right in there. And I don't add a ton of tomato. I probably add about 1 tomato or 2, just depending on how much guacamole I'm making. And I'm not making a ton of guacamole. This is just for tacos. So I just use 1 tomato for this recipe. And I'm just cutting up that last little sphere of tomato. And next what I'm going to do is just kind of stir this up a little bit. I like to, you know, just stir it up as I go, like I mentioned earlier, just to kind of get everything in there. And as you can see, this is coming together nicely. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the cilantro. And I am just going to cut the cilantro just like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the Ninja food processor because I like it very finely chopped up for cilantro, and I don't want to sit here and cut it all up individually because, you know, as much as I love making food, I don't want to be in the kitchen all day long. So here we are back over here to this side of the counter, and the plug is very short, which is why you see me going back and forth. And so I'm just going to pulsate this for a little bit to get the cilantro going. And I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like right there. And it's very finely chopped up. And I'm going to go back to that bowl. And we're going to put the cilantro right into the bowl. And I'm telling you now, cilantro and lime juice is what really makes this guacamole. Very simple ingredients, but those 2 ingredients right there is really going to make or break your guacamole. So what I'm doing now is I am putting a little bit of lime juice in there, not too much because we don't want to overpower. There's already some in the avocado, but I wanted to add some to the rest of the ingredients that are already in there. And what I'm getting right now is sriracha. I love adding a little bit of sriracha to the guacamole, not a whole lot. There we go. And we are going to stir it up very, very nicely. And as you can see, it's all coming together nicely. Usually this is all I do when it comes to guacamole. It's a very, very simple process. It's great for dipping, great for toppings. Anytime I want guacamole, I always make my own. I never buy store-bought, only if I'm in a pinch or if I'm crushed for time. So it is absolutely perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of garlic. This was kind of a fail on my part. And the reason why it was a fail is because I should have did the garlic press for this before I even started filming the video because it takes a little bit of time. So what you do basically is you just press the garlic in here and you're gonna get like a liquidy form of garlic, and you can see right there. And you just add it to the guacamole, and you know, you can see this is a fail, but this is my first video, cooking video, so I mean, we will know for next time. And I'm just adding a little bit of the pressed garlic that's in there, and as you can see, I'm kind of struggling a little bit. But what I end up doing is just taking a little bit of this minced garlic that I have in my seasonings, which works just as well. I mean, if you don't have any fresh garlic, you can use this, and I am mixing this up. And you don't want to add too much garlic because garlic is very overpowering. You only need a little bit to actually taste it. And now we're going to do the taste test right here. And just tasting, I'm trying to get a tomato on there, and I'm going to taste it. And I'm going to do one thing you should never do. I put the spoon back, but it's okay because this was not for a group of people. It was for me and my husband. If you are tasting food, do not put the spoon back in there. Wash it off. And I realized I needed some more lime juice. Always taste it to make sure you don't need anything. That's why it's important to only add a little bit of something like lemon juice or lime juice to something, because you never know if you need more. So I know this is absolutely perfect the way it is. And we are going to get going over to the salsa. Now we are making salsa. And as you can see, I have a much smaller bowl because avocados take up a lot more space than just salsa. I pretty much make my salsa the same way as my guacamole, except there's no avocado, and you're going to use lemon juice instead of lime juice. So keep that in mind when you see me doing this. Now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting up these tomatoes. I'm going to use, I think, about 3 tomatoes. I don't need a huge batch of salsa because this is just for tacos. I didn't need it for like dipping or anything. Usually when I make salsa for like dipping for chips and salsa or something like that, I will cut up about 6 to 8 tomatoes, just depending on how much I plan on eating or how much my husband plans on eating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these tomatoes into here, and I'm going to pulsate it. I love a really good soupy consistency when it comes to salsa. I don't know about you. You can easily make this into a pico de gallo if you want, which I love making as well. But I really just wanted a quick salsa, and I'm putting the cilantro in there as well because it's all going to be mixed up. And this is good if you just want a quick recipe for salsa. And if you notice anything, I do not measure when it comes to it. I'm more of a, you know, whatever you think goes in there goes. So I'm like this, just, you know, depending on who you're cooking for, kind of go based off of that. If you're making salsa for a group of people, like a holiday coming up, then go with that. And as you can see, there's a cilantro and tomato, and I'm going to put this right in there just like that. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a thicker consistency, but it's not too thick and it's not too runny. Runnery is not a word, Kristen. But next what we're going to do is I'm going to go over and cut another one of these peppers. And like I said, the serrano pepper is not very spicy. It's very good. Like, say if you are having children or someone who doesn't really like spicy foods, then this salsa is perfect because you are just going for taste, not for spice. Usually pepper I use a jalapeno, but jalapenos can be very spicy. I also like habanero peppers. They are extremely spicy, but I did not get any this time because I didn't want my husband taking a drink of water after every bite. And so what I'm doing is I am putting the pepper into the salsa. Not yet though. I am going to pulsate it a little bit right here. Just pulsate it a little bit more than I did for the guacamole because it is going to be like more of a puree, a little bit thinner consistency than the guacamole. And going back over to this bowl, I am going to just dump it in there. And you didn't see this, but I did add the lemon juice, which is why it looks a little bit more runny than it did before. And you know, as far as lemon juice, you add a little bit and then go from there, and you can see me stirring it up and everything. And this looks really good, and what I'm going to do is taste it, and it is absolutely perfect the way it is. And look at me, I'm dipping back in there. It is really good salsa. It is perfect. I've mastered it where I don't really need to you know, go back and add a lot. But I'm just showing you the guacamole and the salsa and how easy this was, and you can easily make this at home if you don't want to deal with store-bought, because store-bought has so many things in it. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And with that said, I will see you all next time. Bye.